Good evening, guys. I am Alhaji Mike, and welcome to my trade breakdown. So, I'm going to be analyzing or explaining why I took every single trade I took this week. This week we had a very fruitful week. We closed the week with only two losses. We closed the week with only two losses. Multiple take profits, and as usual, every single one of these trades were called on my Telegram channel, as you can see. Every single one of these trades were called on my Telegram channel. This was the Euro USD we entered. This was the re-entry we got after this first trade had hit TP. So every single one of these setups were called on my Telegram channel. So just so you don't miss out next week, I recommend you click the link in my bio, you join my Telegram channel, and right, this was the gold setup. I think the last trade you took for the week. So just so you don't miss out this week, you join the Telegram channel by clicking the link in my bio. And if it tells you actions can't be completed, just click on open in browser and it's going to bring you to Telegram where you can join the channel without stress. Now let's get into the main action of the day. Right, the main action of the day. So today we'll be analyzing the setups I took, the trades I took, right? And basically I tend to limit myself to just 5 pairs. I trade mostly 5 pairs. And those 5 pairs are we have Euro USD. Yeah, okay. We have Euro USD. We have gold. We have silver, USD JPY, USD JPY, and GBP USD. GBP USD is the last one. These are all the pairs I traded this week. I'm going to take my time and explain at least just three of these trades for you guys, because if I try to explain everything, we're going to be here for a while. So we'll just pick three trades and we'll take our time and explain it. So off the top of my head, I think I'm going to go with USD JPY. I'm going to go with Euro USD, and we'll probably pick a metal or GBP. I don't know. But let's just get started. So we're going to be starting with USD JPY. And before I go into details, before I get into the details of this video, I want you guys to understand something. My style of trading rely heavily on market structure and candlestick patterns. According to Dow Jones, I think it's third rule, I think it's third or fourth rule, I can't remember. He said a market or a commodity rather will continue in a given trend until there is a clear sign of reversal. So as you can see right now, I'm on the daily time frame. I started my analysis. I always start my analysis from the daily time frame. Now on the daily time frame, what do we notice? It's quite obvious that on the daily time frame, UJ, that's USD JPY, has been extremely bullish. Every week, let's go to the greater thing. We keep seeing new highs being created every week. We keep seeing new highs being created. And then I want you guys to also observe something that has been happening on USD JPY. Not just the last few days price action, has been happening generally, like for I think since this was since July last year. This was since July last year. USD JPY made it that no single candle, right? No single candle closed below the previous day low. I'm sorry, previous week's low. Just look. If you keep looking, and you notice every single low was above the low of the previous day. Sorry, previous week. Getting on the weekly time. Look at this. Just look at it. Even this one here, where the week came down, still closed above the. Okay, it didn't close above this, but it closed above this. And see, it didn't close here, it didn't go below. It didn't go below. So basically, what this is telling us, right, is it has been protecting lower prices. Prices rejecting lower prices, that's what we call it. And because of that, I was very comfortable buying, right? I was very comfortable buying. The last week, there was a retracement, still closed above the previous week low. There was a small candle formation. I don't know what they call this, but this is a reversal pattern. If you know your candlesticks, this is a pin bar rather. It's a reversal pattern, but I think there is a name that some traders give it. I don't know what it's called, but I consider it a reversal pattern. And this gave me confidence that the next candle is coming with momentum. And because of this, I'm still confident that the next week's candle too is going to be coming with some serious momentum. Next week's candle should still come with more momentum. That we might probably see this high here getting taken out. So you should just look, we should be looking out for more buys on USD JPY in the next weeks to come, right? Should be looking out for more buys on USD JPY in the next weeks to come. You can see it reacted from this point here, and all the lows are still protected. Right, so I usually start my analysis on the daily time frame. Weekly time frame just helps me get more clarity and I know what market is doing. Now, on the daily time frame, where I usually start my analysis, we can observe the same thing, the exact same thing. Here on the daily time frame, we can refine this a bit. So, yeah. USD JPY rejected from this level, rejected from this other block here. It has been bullish. It broke out of a trend line, retested the trend line, came back to reject an order block that was formed at the trend line. These are confluences. Confluences is a combination of two or more patterns that gives you confidence in holding a trade. So it came back and it rejected from it. So that, look at this. We know it has been rejecting lower prices. So at this point, this was where I got after this. So at this point, when I opened the chart and I noticed this consolidation, I knew this high was very weak. This high was very weak. Ordinarily, I would have been targeting here, but this is just a weak, and I mean, price has mitigated it twice. The zone has been mitigated twice. The more a zone is revisited, the weaker it gets. So it has been revisited three times actually. One, two, three. At this point, we knew it was very weak. It was only a matter of time for it to be taken out. Prices rejecting lower prices. And at this point here, this was kind of like a retracement thing, but it didn't hold. So we're expecting reversal. These three candles, neither of them closed below the low of any of the previous day. Neither of them closed below the previous day low. Neither of them closed below the previous day low. So I have this system where I take my setups around 6 a.m. And the reason for that is so that I can use the previous day low or the current day's low. That is the external liquidity existing there as my stop loss, just to avoid excessive risk. After saying this, I just went down straight to the 1 hour time frame. No much talk. On the 1 hour time frame, what I'm looking for is very simple. I'm looking for a break of structure. A return to order block, and a break of structure, a return to order block, and just some sort of rejection. That's all. Look at this. We saw this was where this liquidity, this was where this there was a sweep on the higher time frame, so it's the previous day, right? So this was when I entered on Wednesday, on Thursday rather. I entered on Thursday. So this was Wednesday price action. This was the other block that was created on Wednesday. So the first one, look at this. There was a sweep, simple stop sweep. There was a break, it broke, and this other block was formed. Now remember, this is where I'm interested in. I'm interested in price coming back down. Price came back down and traded into this. Now all I had to do was wait for some kind of rejection. I think I ended up entering the trade on the 15 minutes time frame after this candle closed. Right, so I entered after this candle closed. And that was when I called it in my Telegram channel. Because at this point, price has visited it. It has shown us it wants to buy. It has shown us a confirmation. Like I said, candlestick patterns are everything. Candlestick patterns will tell you when, if price trades into a support and there is a bullish engulfing formed, it is okay. It is perfectly okay for you to be expecting a strong buy because the support is a confluence one. The bullish engulfing is one of the strongest reversal patterns or confirmation patterns, or whatever you want to call it. Price traded in, gave us that confirmation, and we were waiting to buy. I was ready to buy. I placed it. I dropped the call in my Telegram channel, targeted the week high, and just allowed market to do its thing. At this point I wanted to get a second entry, but I got distracted because I mean it broke out of this trend line. First I maxed it out, it broke out of the trend line, and it retested it. It retested it. I would have gotten my SL here, but I'm trying to not take too much trades this year. So yes, that's what happened on USDJPY. Very simple stuff. What is the daily time frame doing? What story is the weekly time frame telling? Those are the most important questions to ask. I use the 1 hour time frame in this scenario just for entries. Just for entries. Let's look at the next pair. So we're going to be looking at Euro USD, probably EU because I took like 2 trades on EU. EU has more trades than GU, so let's do EU. Now I want you guys to observe the strategy. What I'm trading here is the same on every single trade I take. Okay? So this is where I took my trade from. This trade hits TPA. You know how the daily type of trade is messing, right? So this was where I got in. This was Wednesday. This videos, those lines. I'm sorry about all these excessive lines. I use them to mark out levels. So I'm just going to reduce all this. Good. Now, on this trade, once you go to the weekly time frame on Euro USD, I went to weekly time frame on Euro USD. The first thing I saw was observe this high again. Observe the highs. Always observe the high. The way this candle closed, it gave us it explained to me that price wants to sell. I already understood that. I took the initiative. Okay, we'll be looking for sales this week. Price is expected to close below the low of this candle this week. So we just need sales. I'm not looking for buys. There was a sweep here, and this is looking like some sort of, I don't know, head and shoulder pattern kind of. It breaks this low now. It's going to be people say complete head and shoulder pattern. Sure. I think this level here should be very, very weak. So I might end up seeing price trading below here. I end up seeing price trading below here. And just as a bonus, yeah, you end up seeing this trend line getting broken. Well, be that as it may, we already understood the story from the weekly time frame here was one of we're expecting bearish movements, we're expecting price to sell. So we're looking for sales basically. I don't think I have to explain too much on this one. I've done most of the explanation on Euro. Excuse me. Now this is where I got in. I got in at this candle here. Now this candle showed us that okay, price is bearish and we are going to be selling. Because observe, this looked like what would have given rise to a reversal. I mean, if I had seen this without prior knowledge, without checking the weekly time frame, I would have just been, ooh, buy. And I'll place a buy and I'll get stopped out. But no, I didn't. I think I know I lost the trade this week. I think this was it. Probably. Alright, but that as it may. After this, price simply traded above it. Took liquidity here. Now, this is something important you guys have to understand. There is liquidity at every single candle highs and every candle lows. Liquidity don't lie only at levels. They lie at the high of every single candle. Right? So that's another thing you guys have to have it at the back of your mind when you're approaching the market. Excuse me. So price traded above it. And it didn't close above it. It gave strong pullback, which means we're rejecting higher prices. The next candle opened. Now, remember I told you I stick to the 6 a.m. thing where I'm reading on my chart by 5 a.m. I'm just waiting for 6 a.m. candle to form. There is, I don't know, I just use it because of, this was the previous day high. Yeah, this was the previous day. So, because of that, this was the current day high. So that I was able to pull my SL above the candle in the day high, the daily high. And that gives me more confidence that I'm not going to get my stop loss hit. And if it ever hits my stop loss, it means that market is reversing. So as long as I'm correct, my stop loss is not supposed to get hit. Like I'm not supposed to lose on the trade. But the market is the market. I don't control it. But then at least 60% or 70% of the time, as long as your analysis is correct, after 6 a.m., price doesn't revisit the previous day high or low, depending on what you are trading. Now let's continue. So basically the same concept, right? Came here. All we want to see price trading into another block. There's another block here, so price traded into it, right? There's a break, price rejected, there's resistance here, price rejected, or some people call this a breaker block and execution block, but I see it as just a resistance. But if you go back, you see that price has been hitting that level several times. That was one of the lines I had to clear. So price resisted the resistance, tapped into it. Bearish engulfer, remember I told you, bearish engulfer, confirmation pattern. Now we had it, I still waited because this happened at 5 a.m. I told you I don't want to enter a trade before 6 a.m. So I waited for 6 a.m. So 6 a.m. can be. Price revisited this, this other block here. Revisited it. And after price visited it, after the showing signs of reversal, all I did was place a sell stop limit. The sell stop limit. The sell stop limit is you basically telling your broker, if price falls below this level, start selling for me. Right? It's not like a limit order. You are entering after price has started moving. So I place my sell stop limit at the high of this candle. Sorry, at the low of this candle. If price ever comes below it, sell for me. And it did. As soon as it came below it, this was an engulfer. This price action was so fast. It came, it triggered me, and it started selling. I marked out this other block because I was expecting to get breached. But then it's also good to mark it out to just see how price reacts when it gets into it. When price tapped into it the first time, it went back up and it didn't breach my other block. That's a newly formed other block. Just respected it and I started selling. That gave me confidence to hold the trade. Price broke out of this trend line. It came back to pick more orders around here. I love EU so much. EU always gives re-entries. Even after a breach, it came back to give another re-entry here before finally hit TP. And it's exactly the same thing I traded on this second trade, the second trade here. That the time of entry 6 a.m. I don't know if you have look at the bottom. Time of entry 6 a.m. I always stick to the 6 a.m. candle thing. SL at the day high. I think this was the current day high. Let's see. Yep, this was the 12 p.m. candle, current day high, and that's when I SL. I always stick to the 6 a.m. candle thing. And it has been yielding results for me so far. So yes, that's on Euro USD. That's how I took myself off my trades on Euro USD. And for the last but not the least, we're going to, I don't know, let's go silver. Yes, silver. Let's go silver. Let's see, we're going to use silver for the final setup of the day. Same, exactly the same model. Exactly the same model. Exactly the same model. Exactly the same model. It's very, very repetitive. Get it? Silver has been bullish for God knows how long now. Because it's just going up. I think silver started, this was my April 2025. This was when we started seeing buys like real. This was when silver started like getting serious momentum. People started hearing about the PS silver. It has been seriously bullish. I saw it go up from $7 to around 83, which is the current all-time high. We understand the current, this high here now is very weak at the moment. Price is expected to come and take it out. Now, simple strategy. Rejecting lower prices. This candle didn't close below this. This candle didn't close below this candle low. This one didn't close below this low. This one didn't close below this low. Confidence. Sorry, I say confidence. Confluence. Rejecting lower prices. When he closed below this, he gave us a pin bar. Now, the next thing we're going to be looking out for is we're going down to the 1 hour time frame to look for more confirmation, and get our entry, right? As simple as that. Now, this candle also rejected this other block, also rejected from this other block. And when price rejects an order block, if it's a valid order block, it really goes to take out the previous high, which is this. And currently, like I said, this high is weak. This high is weak. Since price is rejecting lower prices, observe it, will most likely take out the high. We'll go down straight to the 1 hour. I think I've spent 20 minutes on this video. This is going to be long. And so on the 1 hour time frame, simple business on the 1 hour time frame. This was the low of the day. Yeah. This candle was formed by 2 a.m. So 1 a.m. to a.m. It was the low of the day. Now we saw price breaking out of the structure, coming to revisit this other block. I marked it out before, came out and revisited the other block, and then it took it out. It took it out a week, but I don't hit it. The reason why I don't hit it is because we've already established that price was bullish. I saw this here. I waited for this rejection. This was by 4 a.m. because I was already. This was by 4 a.m. 5 a.m. candle. I saw this candle form too, and I didn't really like this candle. I wanted it to be. I wanted better movement. But then after this candle closed, and I noticed that these 3 candles didn't really close below like they were rejecting lower prices. I'm very specific on this rejection of lower prices because it gives a lot of information. I entered when the next candle opened. That is this candle. So as it opened, I just placed my trade. Stop loss at the low of the day, and this was by 6 a.m. 6 a.m. See the time below, 6 a.m. Took the trade, and I let it run. And that is how I ended up with this setup. It's yet to hit TP, but I closed all my trades before the markets. I closed all my trades before markets went on break. Markets closed on Friday. Jesus Christ, went on break. Right, so I closed all my trades before market closed on Friday. I don't like holding trades over the weekend. But this is the simple breakdown of every single trade I took last week. Right? There are some other confirmations, but these are the major confirmations I use when I'm trying to get this set up. At this point, I wanted to get a re-entry. I marked it out earlier. I cleared it yesterday when I was going through my charts again. I was trying to get a re-entry here, but one spirit really stops me. And it's not like I hate it. I'm trying to reduce the way I trade. I don't trade a lot this year. This is a simple strategy I use, and so far so good. That's costing me good money. I've used it to pass a couple of accounts also. People in my Telegram channel have been enjoying this. I've made good money from it. So you can study it and see if it can help you. Right. Thank you for watching this far. Remember, if you stop to the end, I recommend you join my Telegram channel where I drop setups for free so that we can enjoy this Forex money together. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Remember, click the link in my bio to join my Telegram, and I'll see you